If I were to ask you what the three most important resources in the world are, or what the three most valuable resources in the world are, what would your first answer be? I'm kind of curious. Maybe write in the comments section what first comes to mind for you when you ask this question of yourself. What are the three most valuable resources in the world? My name is Tom, and I'm a founder of Vertical Motion, where we help mid-career professionals become executives. If that sounds interesting to you, there's a link in the description to explain the process and how we work with people to help them go from senior manager or director up to vice president and beyond. So if you want to learn more about that, check that link down in the description. But today, what we're talking about are the three most valuable resources in the world. What could these be? One answer could be things like palladium and tritium and all of these very rare elements that are worth millions of dollars per ounce. Or you could even say something like anti-gravity, which is worth $1 billion per quarter ounce or some ridiculous number like that. So that could be one answer. Another answer could be, well, oxygen and water. Those are pretty valuable. If you take them away from someone, they're going to give you as much money as you need to give them oxygen. So that could be a valuable resource as well. Today, actually, what we're talking about are three valuable resources that every single one of us has and we deploy every single day. And that is time, energy, and attention. A lot of people talk about time management, and it makes sense. You want to manage your time so that you have the time to do all the things that you need to get accomplished. But not everyone thinks about this beyond just time management. There's also two other resources that are equally important to time, and that is your energy level and your attention span. And those are finite resources that are not replenishable every day. If you think about it, every single person on this planet gets the same 24 hours a day, whether they are a multi-billionaire or someone who's working at McDonald's. Every single one of us gets the exact same 24 hours. Now, what we do with that 24 hours is very different from person to person. And what we do with our time really does inform our success. These very successful billionaires and executives and Fortune 500 CEOs, their time is very carefully managed, but so is their energy and attention, because they are trying to use as much of that resource as they possibly can, compared to someone who's kind of like my two high school students who seem to spend a whole lot of time sleeping and surfing the internet, but that's another topic. Anyway, the point is that like what you do with your time matters, but also how you deploy your energy and your attention also matters too. So if you think about it this way, you can set aside time to spend with your child. You can say, okay, I'm going to spend 30 hours a day every day from 7:30 to 8 with my child. But if you have run out of energy for the day and you're exhausted and you just are ready for bed and you just have used up all of your attention span, and so you're not really present with your child, that's going to be low quality time with your child. They're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy it. So you not only need to reserve time for your child, but also need to reserve energy and attention span for your child so that you can have positive experiences with them. So let's talk about three ways where you can maximize your time, energy, and attention throughout the day. Number one is to be intentional about how you use your time, energy, and attention. If you think about this, it makes sense. You want to make sure that you are prioritizing the right things. How do you do that? Here's the thing. A lot of us get our priority list given to us by other people. Other people tell us, it is urgent that you do this thing for me. It is important that you do this thing, right? Is it? Is it important to you? Is it urgent to you? Or is it urgent to them? People who manage their time, energy, and attention well are very good at saying no to people who want something from them, but they're not ready to work on that yet. So this is something that you can work on, is being intentional about where you actually deploy your time, energy, and attention. If you focus on the things that matter to you, you'll have a better outcome in life. But if you focus on whatever someone tells you to do, you are outsourcing all of your energy and attention and time to someone else's to-do list, not yours. Make sure that you reserve time, energy, and attention for things that are important to you that may not be urgent, like long-term initiatives, like self-development, career development, all of these other things, learning a language, whatever that is for you. Make sure that you just don't ignore that idea, that thing that you want to do for yourself. Make sure that you do set aside time and energy and attention for the things that you want to do long-term. For example, I'm writing a book right now. I'm getting very close to finishing the book. The text is written, it's being edited, and now we're kind of formatting everything, which is really cool. This has been very difficult to write this book while doing all of the other things that I'm doing, but I do set aside time every week to focus on that book. And I set aside time early in the day so that I have plenty of energy and attention span to really dive into working on that book. So that's number one. Make sure that you are intentional about your time, energy, and attention. Number two do is a process called time batching. And what this looks like is you take like skills that you do and you put them together. So for example, I like to do deep work in the morning. So at 9 o'clock, I'm at my computer right here and I have 3 hours set aside to work on the business, work on my content, work on the things that are, kind of heads down, headphones in, just really, grinding away at creating things, right? So I'm very creative in the morning and I want that high level of energy and attention to be really focused on things that are important long term. As I get tired through the day, I'm still very capable of having fantastic communication with other people. So I become more social towards the second half of the day, where I go into 5-6 hours in a row of meetings every day. And I actually get energized by that, but it's also using a different set of skills than what I was using when I was doing deep work. So when I'm doing deep work in the morning, I'm in one mindset. And when I'm doing task work or communication work in the afternoon, I'm in a different mindset. That is way more valuable than context shifting back and forth. It takes upwards of 30 minutes to shift from one frame of mind to another. If you shift from thinking about something very deep, you're into the content, you're typing away, you're just kind of focused, right? It's hard to go from that frame of mind to now someone comes in, asks you a question, and you have to change what you're thinking about to whatever they were asking, and you have to solve a problem, and then you go right back. That might be a 30-second interaction, but it'll take 30 minutes of productivity away from you. So put your deep work in one part of the day and your task work in another part of the day. And doing that will give you efficiencies in your time, so you'll actually be able to get more done during those phases of your day. And then number 3 is that you want to set boundaries around your time and energy and attention. You have to protect this resource. Otherwise, other people will use it for you. If you let other people use your time and your energy and your attention for their purposes, well, they're leveraging you, but you are not leveraging those resources yourself. And when they're gone, you might have more time in the day, but you may not have any energy left to do the things that matter to you. So make sure that you are careful about how you manage your time, energy, and attention. Set boundaries with people and set boundaries with your work. In this day and age, it's really common to have your work creep into your personal life. We have these smartphones and laptops and things that ding and bong and all of that are constantly bombarding us, taking our attention away from wherever we are to back to this thing. And so you might see a work email come into your phone while you're sitting there having dinner with your family, and now you look at the phone and now you're thinking about work, and you're not having dinner with your family anymore. You're not with them anymore. You're just now thinking about work. You might be there physically, but you're not there mentally, right? We have to learn how to turn work off. This is something that earlier generations were better at because they physically couldn't work from home. Now we can, and sometimes there's a blurring of the lines between your personal time and your recovery time and your work time. So be careful to establish clear boundaries in terms of your time, energy, and attention. The other thing you want to do is you want to say no to almost everything that people ask you to do. And this is hard. I know this. I have a very difficult time saying no to people when they ask for something. Sure, I can do that. It's not a big deal. It's a small ask. I can deliver that. I can give someone 30 minutes of my time for free. But when I do that with hundreds of people, now my time is completely invested in other people. I don't have any energy and attention left for myself. So say no to most things so that you can say yes to a few really important things. Really understand what you're trying to do right at this point in your life. That could be leaning into your family. It could be leaning into your career. It could be leaning into personal development. It could be leaning into getting healthy. All of those things are very valid things to lean into. Prioritize the thing that's most important to you above everything else, including these other things. So sometimes you have to prioritize your self-care over time with family, or you have to prioritize time with family over time and energy at work. So find ways to say no to everything that's asked of you that doesn't actually lead towards where you want to take your life in this moment. So those are the 3 ways to maximize your time, energy, and attention. One is to be intentional about how you use your time, energy, and attention. The second is to use time batching. And the third is to put boundaries around your time, energy, and attention. I went ahead and built a checklist that can help you create your own calendar where you are allocating your time, energy, and attention effectively and efficiently. If you think about it, we all get 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So 156 hours a week. Allocating every single one of those hours to something will help you plan your days in a way where you are really focused on where your time and energy and attention are going. So use this resource to kind of build that out, starting with booking out sleep and then booking out personal time and booking out family time, and then ultimately getting to where you've booked out all 156 hours of the week and you know exactly what you're going to do every single hour, every single day. It can seem a little overwhelming at first, but it's actually not. If you say, I have 2 hours of personal time from 6 to 8 p.m. every evening. You don't have to say what you're going to do during that time. You just know that you are not doing these other things. You are not sleeping. You are not working. You are not doing these other things. You are doing just this one thing. And that's what's most important, is that you want to be present in every moment of your day. If you are sleeping, sleep. If you are working, work. If you are playing, play. But make sure that you are intentional about how you're using your time and your energy and attention throughout all the day. I hope that resource is valuable to you. It's down below in the description of this video. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I will see you in the next one.